Pokemon Fever is back. I honestly don't know if it ever left, but it's back. People are opening packs every single day. People are breaking open boxes every single day. People are getting scammed by bald guys every single day. And I'm here to throw my own hat into the ring. I don't have the money to pay for any of these really expensive packs, but I do have an aesthetic taste and nostalgia and a desire to be a part of this whole thing. So I made a tier list. You can do it too if you want. A link is in the description below. I'm going to start from the 69th card in the base set, Weedle, and work my way up to number 1, which is 𝘎𝑃𝙀𝘾𝙆. That's not a preference thing. That's just the number of the cards. Of course, it's not a real Pokemon video until you open some packs yourself. I don't have base set packs because I'm not going to drop $30,000 on that. But I do have some Darkness Ablaze packs. So we'll open those up. Might get something worth $5. You never know. Check in at the end. We'll find out. Hey, it's Editor Stubby here the next day. You can tell because it's light out. If you like this video, consider subscribing. If you don't, that's okay too. I don't mind. You do whatever you want to, but it would be cool. It would be cool if you did. So maybe consider it. Maybe consider it. Let's get this tier list started. We're starting with the bottom, number 69. That's Weedle. Weedle's actually a pretty interesting card to start with. It's got its own special art. It's not just a kind of, copy and pasted drawing. It's actually hand drawn. It's different from the usual promotional art that you'll see. So I like this one a lot. I'm going to give it a B. Nice solid B. Not an A, not an S, but it's nice. B. Card number 68 is Vulpix. Vulpix is one of the more boring ones. It's just kind of the Pokemon pasted on a black background. They did add some sparkles though, which is a nice little flair, but still, it's a D for sure. Number 67, Voltorb. Another kind of a boring one, honestly. If I'm going to give a D to Vulpix, I should probably give a D to Voltorb as well. But I don't know, I just like the colors on this one. I think it's more interesting and engaging than the Vulpix. Voltorb looks a little more aggressive, angry, and just the color combination of that purple and that light blue, I really like that a lot. I'm going to give it a C. It could probably be a B, but I'll give it a C. Next we have Tangela, number 66. This one I really like a lot. Again, it's more of the hand-drawn style. It's a different artwork than we're used to seeing. I think it really captures the essence of Tangela. So I'm going to give it an A, honestly. I think it's really just creative and fun, and it's better than just throwing an image of him onto the card. Staryu is number 65. This is one of those art styles that I really liked as a kid. I thought it was really cool looking, but it hasn't aged so well. So I'm going to give it a C. Not my favorite. Not really my favorite at all. Next is Starmie. Kind of the same thing. I like it a little bit less than Staryu. I think the scenery is a little bit better for Staryu. So not quite as good, but still a C. After Starmie, we have Squirtle. Squirtle's a classic. Nice, different style drawn. This is an S tier for sure. Just very well done. I like the bubbles coming up. I love the little rock he's standing on. He just looks so defiant as he holds his arms out. I love this one a lot. That's an S for sure. Sandshrew is next. This is one of the most lazy ones in the set. You've just got Sandshrew copy and pasted on a background. No real effort to try to blend him in with the background. Just kind of drop a shadow on him and throw him on there. That's a D. Easy. Rattata is next, number 61, and I like Rattata's artwork. I think it plays well to the Pokemon that Rattata is. I don't think it's a particularly strong artwork, but it's good character. I'm going to put this in with Weedle at a B. I just like the sort of, scrawny sort of vibes you get from it. Rattata's a small guy. Here he is, looking up to the sun. He's just woken up in the morning or something. It looks cool. After Rattata, we have Ponyta. And Ponyta, another in the same line as Sandshrew, kind of boring. It does look a little bit more convincing with the background, but not too much. It's better than Sandshrew, but, it's still not very good. It's a D for sure. Poliwag is next, and Poliwag, this whole family is really just disappointing. Just a Pokemon on a blue background. That's a D. Pikachu is next. We all know what Pikachu looks like in this base set. We have the one with red cheeks here. Big old fat Pikachu. We're going to put him on the A tier. Just a classic piece of art. A lot of character in Pikachu's smile and his sparking cheeks, and the forest. The life of the forest behind him is really engaging and nice to see. So that is definitely an A tier. 𝘾𝙃𝙀𝘾𝙆 is next. 𝘾𝙃𝙀. Oof. 𝘾𝙃𝙀. Basically the same thing as Ponyta. Almost the same exact background. It's just a copy and paste job. And you're going to see this a lot from 𝘾𝙃𝙀𝘾𝙆. He's the artist who does most of these ones. It's just like, I'm really wondering who gave him the assignment the night before it was due, because it's very clear that he was just like, oh, I gotta just get that onto a card. Just copy and paste works fine. And just throw a random background on there. That'll be good. So a lot of his cards are going to end up here in this D. Just no real creativity. Very lacking in, they don't inspire much. After 𝘾𝙃𝙀𝘾, we have Onyx. Onyx is another one of 𝘾𝙃𝙀𝘾𝙆's. Another boring D card. I'm going to put a lot of Ken's cards down here. They're just not very inspiring. And really just kind of boring. There's so much life you could put in these Pokemon. When I think of Onyx, I think of that one episode of the show where Brock has his Onyx and Ash tries to beat it with Pikachu for some reason, but whatever, it works. They're outside, it's like this huge fight or whatever. And I just think of all the attitude and charisma that Onyx had as a Pokemon and has consistently throughout the show, and this just doesn't really show it. So, I don't know. Next up is Nidoran Male, and I bet you can guess where this one is going to end up. It's a lot of the same, just Pokemon on a background. Ken, you really needed to do better. Metapod is next, and yeah, it's there too. Next we have Magnemite, and this is done by a different artist. I believe the last name is Arita. It's more of the 3D style. Same in the Starmie one. I do like this one a lot more. You could get a little bit more of the depth and volume of Magnemite, and I don't know. I'm between B and C tier. I don't think the background is there's not a lot there really, but I do like the way Magnemite looks. I'm going to put it in with Starmie and Staryu. It's kind of the same thing. So I think that's where it fits. Next up, we got Machop. I have always liked this Machop art. I think it shows what Machop is all about. Standing on this rock, holding this boulder. This is a Pokemon that is, despite its size, it appears small, but it's very strong. And I think this shows off that sort of bravado and just, it looks great. I like it a lot. It's very original. It's nice. So if you want an S tier card, put a Pokemon on a rock and hand draw it and make it do something. That's what you got to do. Next, Koffing. As I go through this list, I can see, like in my binder of cards that I used to have as a kid, I can see all the pages that had Koffing on it. I feel like Koffing was probably one of the cards I got the most. But it has nice art. It's, hand-drawn. Looks good. I mean, all of it is hand-drawn, obviously, but like this is an original hand-drawn piece for the card. I would probably put it in with Weedle and Rattata. Just nice art. Just good. Big smile on Koffing. Puts a big smile on me. That's a nice B tier. Gastly is next, and this is another one of the Arita sort of 3D animated ones. We're going to lump this one. Actually, I don't know if I'd put it with the Staryu, Starmie, Magnemite. I'd probably put it in D. I just think the setting is kind of weird. I think the gas behind Gastly is a little weird. Just, it's not a great package. D feels comfortable. D feels pretty comfortable for me. Drowsy is next. Drowsy is pretty boring. The background, you do have some nice colors and geometric shapes in there, but really it's just the Pokemon art. It's a D. Next up is Doduo. Doduo actually has some pretty fun art. You get the speed, the power of Doduo running through the field. I like it a lot. That's an A tier for me. It's just very simple but elegant and original and nice. Doduo is an A tier card. I like it a lot. After Doduo comes Diglett. And Diglett is in that 3D style, but this is when I think it actually works very well. I like the surroundings. I like how everything is sort of modeled in the same sort of style. You kind of got that a little bit with Gastly, but I don't think it was really fleshed out fully. Whereas in this one, his entire surrounding, his terrain that he's in what's the word I'm trying to think of here? Ensconced? No, I don't know. His terrain that he's inside, it's also rendered out in the same style. The flowers are pretty. It's just a nice looking card. I'm going to give it an A tier. I know it's in the same style that I don't love today, but Come on. He looks nice. He looks nice. After Diglett, we have Charmander, a classic card. You can't go wrong with Charmander. I don't even really like the Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard line. Never been a fan of them, but this is a classic card. It's an S tier, no doubt about it. When I see this card, I think of the Rainy episode where Charmander's tail is in danger of being put out. And, you know, he's looking at his tail in this card art, looking at it and thinking about that's his life force or whatever. You know, maybe he's not thinking that. Maybe he's just thinking my tail's on fire. I don't know. But I like the art. Okay. Okay. After Charmander is 𝘾𝙃𝘀𝘾𝙆. And 𝘾𝙃𝘀𝘾𝙆 is one of the laziest. Right there with Metapod. Just copy and paste his image on a background and call it good. Way to go, Ken. You got the assignment in on time. Next up is Bulbasaur. You know, I've given both the other starters S tier, but I don't think I can give it to Bulbasaur. I just think Bulbasaur looks a little weird in this one. You know? Like, it just looks a little weird. I'm struggling between A and B tier, and honestly, I can see myself putting it on C tier. I just have never liked this sort of action pose that Bulbasaur is in. I think I'm going to put it in B. I think this artist really has earned the B, because I'm pretty sure these are all the same, all done by the same person. It's just not on this, for me, it's just not on the same level as the Squirtle and the Charmander classic cards. When I think of the starter Pokemon and the base set cards, I can picture these cards for them. But I usually can't immediately think of the Bulbasaur card. And so that's kind of why I put it here. I know this is more about sort of aesthetics than it is like lasting legacy or like just me being able to remember it and recall it. But I think part of that is also just due to aesthetics. And I really like the Squirtle and Charmander cards, but I never really felt the same connection to the Bulbasaur card. It's well done art, but I just don't find it as appealing. Fair? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Next up is Abra. Abra has very classic art. Asleep Under the Tree. This is one of the cards that I definitely remember every time I think of it. That's an A. Easy A. You might be thinking, you know, I haven't put anything in F yet. And that's true. I haven't. And that's because it's really only a tier for one. And it's because it's really the tier for Wartortle. Wartortle's card art is horrible. I had completely blocked it out of my memory. And in doing this project, I saw it again and it's so disappointing. The character art is not even lined up really like with the background. It's completely like, it just doesn't work. Like it's so clear, at least with some of the other ones like a Ponyta, Pidgey, Nidoran, you can kind of see those two sort of scenes, the scene and the subject fitting together. But with Wartortle, they just like look so completely different that it doesn't fit at all. And so I just don't like it. No, it doesn't look good. But that's enough shitting on Wartortle. Let's move on to Seal. And Seal's a D because Seal is just a seal pasted on a background. So there you go. Raticate is next. Raticate is also a D. Again, just pasted on a background. Ken, you gotta work harder. Porygon is up next. And Porygon is one of my favorite one in the 3D sort of render style. So I'm going to give it an A. I'm also realizing now that I've been attributing it wrong the entire time. I've been saying Arita is the 3D kind of render artist, but it's actually Kinabushi, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's how I think it's pronounced, maybe. So Weedle, Rattata, Koffing, Bulbasaur, and Abra are the Arita, and the Porygon, Diglett, Magnemite style, those are the Kinabushi. So now we continue. After Porygon, we have Poliwhirl. And again, in following with Poliwag, it's just copy and pasted. Ken needed to get it out the door. That's a D tier, easy. Nidorino is next. Nidorino has really awesome art. This is one of my favorite cards in the entire set. For me, it's an S tier. I just love the action pose. I love the background. I adore this card. I want to purchase this card now. Nidorino is one of my favorite Pokemon from the original 150. I love the Nidoking line. So I love the way this art turned out, and I think it looks great. Magmar is next, and we'll just put this in D. We don't even really need to talk about it at all. After Magmar, we have Magikarp. This is some nice art. Not really anything, special. We'll just put it in C. It's the same sort of style as B, but I don't know. It doesn't feel as good to me. It just doesn't feel as powerful. All of these are kind of in their own pose. And really kind of 𝘾𝙃 can fall down here too, you know? I do like 𝘾𝙃's art, but there's not much to it. These ones are all like doing some kind of action, but... And I know Magikarp isn't really the Pokemon of action, but I feel like they're probably safer in C. 𝘾𝙃 is next, and as you can guess, it just slots right into D, right where it needs to go. Ken, it's funny because Ken is like the artist who I remember the most from when I would look at cards as a kid, but now I just don't like his style at all. And I think I did like his style when I was a kid, because I remember I would always guess when it was a Ken card because it's clearly very easy to guess. And I feel like I liked it, but now I feel like I hate it because it's just so boring. So I don't know. Anyway, after 𝘾𝙃, we have Kakuna, and yeah, it's not a good one. I think this is a Kinabushi, but I don't like it at all. I don't understand what's happening around him. Is he hardening? What's going on? I don't know. I don't think the background is very good. I don't think the render is very good. It's just okay. It's a D. Kadabra is next, and we have a copy and paste job, so let's just go straight in D. After Kadabra is Jynx. Jynx is copy and paste. After Jynx is Ivysaur. Ivysaur is copy and paste. I do like the background on it. It's a little more inspired than some of Ken's other work. So I'd put it like at the front of D tier, but it's still not, it's not getting out of D tier. I'm sorry. Haunter is next. Haunter has some pretty fun art. I'm going to give it a C. I used to like this card a lot. I think the render is pretty nice, but I just feel like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll put it in a B actually. I think it captures Haunter pretty well. Growlithe is next, and I can tell you this almost challenges Wartortle, but it's just in there with the rest of the Ds. Farfetch'd, I do like the kind of funky, fresh background, but also a D. Dratini is next. I know people like Dratini a lot, but it's also a D. It's not even in the water. It's just kind of sitting on a lake. Like, it can just walk on water? What's going on with that? I don't understand. I don't understand at all. Dugong, at least we get some sort of, you know, this looks like a different piece of artwork. It is kind of boring, just in the water, no kind of attack, just kind of laying, resting in its natural state. We'll give it a low C. It's pushing D. Charmeleon is next, and I've never really liked this Charmeleon card. I would probably put it low B, high C. It's just okay. It's kind of the same as Bulbasaur with me, where I just don't really think about it, really. It's not the card that I envision. It's just okay. It's a low B. And now for the last of the non-rare cards, we have Arcanine, an uncommon. It's another Ken classic, just pasted on a background. It's a D. So every card from here on out is a rare card, and let me tell you, before we even get started, a lot of these are disappointing. They are just really disappointing. Let's go. Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is the first one, number 22. It's a Ken classic. It's a D. Next, we have Electrode. Electrode is where it gets good. I feel like everybody likes this card. It's just so cool looking. The background with all the rainbow colors. Electrode just has such a soft expression. He seems so happy. And just the glow. It's an S. It's an easy S. One of the best cards in the entire set. I just love the way Electrode looks. Classic card. Next, we have Electabuzz. Yeah, I mean, come on. Dugtrio is next, and I don't like this one as much as Diglett. Diglett, you know, was an A tier for me. I do kind of like the render. I'm going to put it in a B because you get more of the background here. The difference between the Staryu, the Starmie, the Magnemite, the backgrounds are very just kind of flat. Whereas on this one, on the Diglett card, there's more depth to the background. There's more interesting things happening. And so for that reason, I like these renders a little bit more. That's why I put it in a B as opposed to a C. That's why Diglett is an A as opposed to a C. Just, you know, it makes sense. After Dugtrio, we have Dragonair. Dragonair. Whew. Dragonair is a beautiful card. It's one of the best looking cards in the entire set. I am purposefully moving it to the front of S because it's gorgeous. The setting, the fact that Dragonair is actually in the water. Take notes, Dratini. It's just, it's great. Beedrill follows, and Beedrill is another boring one. Ken classic. It's a D. Following Beedrill, we have Zapdos, our first holo rare. And as you can see, these kind of all take the same sort of trend here. Zapdos, not good. Not good. It's a D. Venusaur, not good. Not good. It's a D. Also, just this artwork of Venusaur is not flattering at all. At least with Blastoise and Charizard, it looks like the Pokemon, but Venusaur just, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Venusaur, but he just doesn't look good. After Venusaur, we have Raichu. Not good. That's a D. It's boring. Just Pokemon standing in place. Plain background. Nothing going on. Next is Poliwrath. There's at least kind of a spiral background behind him, so it's still a D, but it's a higher D because there's something behind him, something going on, but not great. Still not great. Still copy and pasted. Next is Ninetales. Ninetales, oh man, it's just so, you know, you look back on these cards and you remember pulling a shiny, and you're like, oh, this is so poggers. And now you look at these cards and they're just so boring looking. Some of them, a lot of them, not all of them, but some of them. Next is Nidoking. One of my favorite Pokemon. I kind of want to give it a C just because the background, the red and the orange and the yellow is nice, but we all know it deserves the D tier. It just, how can you give it anything better than that? It's so, there's just nothing happening in any of this art. Ken, please do more. Just do more. I have no artistic ability, so I have no right to criticize your work, but I'm just saying, copy and paste, man. Is that all you did? Next, we have Mewtwo. Magneton. At least we get some depth on this character. It's not just a copy and paste. We'll put it low C. Probably doesn't deserve it, but that's where I'll put it. After Magneton, we have Machamp. I always did like the Machamp card just because you got sort of the motion from his arms. And you know, it is the one sort of first edition card that everybody had, so it'll be a C as well. Hitmonchan is next. Just standing, not really doing anything special, just standing. It is what it is. Gyarados. I did like this artwork of Gyarados, and I remember that I scammed one of my neighbors out of his holographic Gyarados, and then he got really pouty about it, and so I had to give it back. And so for that reason, I'll give it a C, just for the story attached to it. It is different than its sort of promotional artwork that is pasted on all of these guys. You know, the Poliwraths, the Mewtwo's, the Hitmonchans of the world. It is a little bit different. It looks like it's a little more hand-drawn. So I'll give it a C. Next is Clefairy, which is, I think Clefairy is like the only holographic card that I had in this set. Truly, honestly. I mean, except for Machamp. But this is like the only one that I actually pulled from a pack of cards back in the day. But it's still just, it's as disappointing now as it was then. Clefairy, holographic, that's a D, easy. Charizard is next, and Charizard actually deserves the S tier. I don't really get the hype. Like, I don't know why it's worth so much money, but it is a really nice looking card. The fire details in the holographic. It's not just the standard promotional art that you see all the time, which I think is on one of the other releases of this set in a different region. It's a nice art. It's classic. It's timeless. It's beautiful. Charizard is an S, easy. We're down to 3. Chansey, Blastoise, Alakazam. They're just all so boring. I'm sorry. But truly, they're just so boring. Okay, so we've done the tier list. You've seen it. I'll show it to you again. Here it is. The S rank cards, the only ones that matter. Dragonair, Charizard, Squirtle, Machop, Charmander, Nidorino, and Electrode. 7 cards. 7 total cards out of 69 that are really good art. The rest are just good or worse. Or Wartortle. Let me know how I did. Let me know where you disagree. Let me know how you'd rank your things. Share your ranks with me in the comments. Link some images or something. I don't know. Tweet them to me, I guess. I'll maybe see them. And yeah, get mad at me. I'm all down for that. But yeah, stay tuned. But stay tuned for the card. But let's get into the card opening now. Okay, you made it to the end of the video. It's time to open our 3 Darkness Ablaze packs. I have no idea what's in these packs. I'm just kind of going for it. So let's get into it. First pack. Let's get that nice Nice sound there. Okay. We have our code for the thing. If you play the game, use that code. I don't know how it works. Okay, so I do 4 to the back. Okay, and now we see what we got. So, electric energy, 𝘎𝙀𝘾𝙀𝘾𝙀, 𝘎𝙊𝘾𝙀𝘾𝙀𝘎, Flaffy, 𝘎𝙊𝘾𝙀𝘶, Panpour, 𝘎𝙬𝙎𝑘𝙀𝙀𝑃, 𝘎𝙬𝙎, 𝘎𝙬𝙎𝑘𝙀𝙀𝑃, reverse hollow 𝘎𝙬𝙀𝑃, and oh, Rhyperior V. Look at that guy. How much is this worth? Wow. So this guy's worth $3.15. Cool. Let's open pack 2. There's the code right there. Cool. Now we do 4 to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go. What energy we got in the front? Ooh, is that dark? I don't even know anymore. We've got a 𝘾𝙃𝘾𝙀𝘾. We've got Pupitar, 𝘾𝙃𝑚𝙀𝑆𝑞ire, Torchic, Starly, Skarmory, Pansage, Electrike, Golisopod, interesting, and 𝘎𝑆cavalier. I don't think that's worth anything, but cool. Okay, we move on to the last pack. Our last pack of 3. Let's get it open. I'm guessing we're gonna get that Charizard. It's an $86 card if you pull it. I can't even open this one, no. Let's see, come on. Okay, here is your code. Should you want it? There you go. 4 to the front or back, whatever you want to call it. I don't know anymore. That's 4, right? Yeah, sure. Please focus. There we go. Leaf energy, let's go. Dugtrio, nice. Billowing smoke, okay. Heat energy. Clink. Ducklet. Mareep. Paris. Gothita. Kangaskhan reverse hollow. And I can tell this is a full art card, but what is it? Ooh, Butterfree V. Nice. Wow, this beauty is worth $1.73. So all in all, we made a pretty good haul, I would say. Cool.